Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I heard.
Yep. Nah, now we can't. When you mute your mic, we don't hear it.
I don't know if he heard you. Cause he, I don't know.
I can't hear it.
I'm putting it in
He
the.
said when you and your mic unmuted and we still don't hear it.
Nah, when you mute your mic, we don't hear it no more. I'm uploading it to the stream yard now though. I'm just waiting on it to get.
Peace, Pure Black. Give us a second. We're trying to get this together. Boy, Pure Black got them bars, man. Don't get him started. Peace, peace. Oh, Sean say you gotta upload it to StreamYard. Peace, peace, Snotball. Peace, brother Sean.
Log in to KofiPaisatTV.com and get Spears of the Mossy Volume 1 by Kofi Paisat Research Team. From Spears the Pen Volume 2 by Kofi Paisat Research Team. Spiritual Combat Volume 3 by Kofi Paisat Research Team. One Night Before Bed by Any Harek Shun Calfunny. Kalawa's Trip to the Motherland by Kofi Paisat. From Cocaine to Consciousness by Any Harek Shun Calfunny. As I learned, we all learn by Kofi Paisat. Also, if you want fresh merch, go to our online store, family. Connect Apparel and get all the brands. Also, get our 54 deck of quiz and educational cards available now on KofiPaisatTV.com. Log in to KofiPaisatTV.com and get Spears of the Mossy Volume 1 by Kofi
How's it playing again?
Team. From Spears the Pen Volume.
All right, peace, y'all. Peace. Y'all seen it? Y'all seen it? Go get it. All right,
yeah, we got it on the stream yard now.
Okay. Did y'all hear it though?
Yeah, I heard it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good. So next time, y'all, we'll have it all the way right and exact. But in the meantime, it's your brother Satep and Ra, Mariaman. I want to say shout out to my brother Damo. Shout out to Anusha. Shout out Snotball. Shout out Pure Black. What's up, Sean? I know you working, big head. I got my brother T'Challa on here. I got my brother Sutek on here. And we just gonna talk about astrology. Is it fact? Is it fiction? I'm coming from a perspective. Some of the other brothers may be coming from a perspective. And we just about to get it in. What's up, T'Challa?
Peace, brother. Peace to the chat. Peace to our loyal supporters, and this is definitely much needed conversation. I'm real excited about this too. I'm gonna be on the back. I'm gonna sit back, and because I know that Satep and Sutek got a whole conversation to have, but we looking forward to hearing from how y'all feel about this convo too. So like and share the show.
Yeah, man. Peace to the family. Like my brother said, man, as you come in, please help us like and share the show. You know what I mean? Get the channel out to other viewers that might not have had the opportunity to hear of us. You know what I'm saying? That's the way we ask for your support. You know what I'm saying? We don't ask for handouts. We don't ask for something for nothing. Uh, just need y'all help in spreading the word, man. So make sure y'all please like the show, help us get it in these YouTube algorithms, and share the show to like minds that might appreciate the message and the content that we putting forth. And yeah, man, it's your brother Sutek. We black at you again. Coffee Pot Side Research Team. Just coming through the bill, man.
All right, so Suptech, you actually did a presentation on astrology, right?
Right. Yep.
So let us know your perspective and where you coming from with it, because you actually did a great that was a great build, man. I love when you do presentations too, because and I ain't just saying this because you're on a team. I like how you be coming in your perspective, because I would have never thought of it. And when somebody do some shit that I would have never thought of, I like it, man. So what's your perspective on that?
Astrology, it is a belief system that started in the Middle East area, and it transitioned to the Greeks. The Greek form is what we still currently today use, and I mean it's cool, but it's a pseudoscience. It's not scientific. Um, so that's why I call it a belief system, especially like the zodiacs and all that. Like when I put that in my presentation, is like I showed the testing that was done on specific like zodiac signs and astrology, etc. And every time the test came back as no more than no more effective or no more accurate than a placebo. So that's where I'm at with it. As far as a lot of people, I also did that presentation too because a lot of people like to tie astrology in to indigenous African cultures, and I just don't see that. So I mean, I'm open. I'm open to learn something new, but as far as I know, I don't see it.
All right, now I like all that, and I agree. It's definitely not scientific. But the thing is, Sutek, I've actually this attempt throwing this curveball. So like, when it comes to me and my experience with astrology, I have found it to be accurate. Reason why I say it accurate. Say what?
Nah, my bad. You probably heard my. I was plugging my speaker in.
Oh, okay. So yeah, when it comes to like the attributes, so it says I'm a Virgo, right? Like if I go down the list of shit that it say a Virgo is, like that shit line up with me and my personality. You know what I'm saying? Damn near to a T. Like damn near to a T, bro. And now do I believe that all the shit is aligned with the stars and all that? No. Like just even based off your presentation when you broke down the star chart and all that shit, like you know what I'm saying? So no. As far as the attributes come, when it's describing me, now I can't speak for nobody else, right? Like I don't know what your sign is, I don't know what T'Challa is based off the list or whatever, but you know, when it and then another thing too, right? Another thing what made me look at this shit and be like, is there some truth to this shit, right? So like it says that Virgos are most compatible with Taurus, right? And I haven't been in too many relationships in my life, like too many like strong girlfriend boyfriend relationships. It was only a couple, right?
Mm-hmm.
And tell me why the people that it was with, they was all Tauruses. I never knew it until I looked at it one day and I was like, let me see if this shit real. Cause like I don't be believing in the compatibility shit. Like, cause I'll be like anybody could be with anybody. Like that shit don't make or break a relationship, right? So it's like I'm just going based off the attributes when it comes to me. But the compatibility thing, I did see that, everybody who I was fucking with like that on that level, they was all Tauruses. I never knew it. So like what would you say to a person like me that has witnessed this shit and it's some type of truth to it in their life?
Um, I would say I would ask, have you ever heard of the Barnum effect?
What?
The Barnum effect.
Yeah. Let's get into that because I ain't never heard of the Barnum effect.
All right, hold on, let me pick it up and pull it up.
And that's why I wanted to have this conversation because he was gonna come with something I wasn't ready for or I wasn't privy to.
Yeah, man. So let's see. Can y'all see the screen? Yeah. Okay. So this is the Barnum effect. The Barnum effect, also called the Forer effect, or less commonly the Barnum-Forer effect, is a common psychological phenomenon whereby individuals give high accuracy ratings to descriptions of their personality that supposedly are tailored specifically to them, yet which are in fact vague and general enough to apply to a wide range of people. This effect can provide a partial explanation for the widespread acceptance of paranormal beliefs, practices such as astrology, fortune telling, or reading, or some type of personality test. So I think that these descriptions and these compatibilities, quote unquote, be so vague and so generalized that it can fit a broad, wide range of people. And this is what the Barnum effect is talking about. So as far as the compatibility aspect, that's what I would say. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's some that's gonna get it right, and it's some that's gonna get it wrong. But it's a wide enough description, and it's a wide enough compatibility that you gonna get some right, and you gonna get some wrong. Like a broken clock is right at least twice a day.
Facts, facts, facts. Hey,
Yeah, so that's how I
I,
look at it.
yeah, I like how you broke that down. And when it comes to like the tarot card readings and shit like that, like they be giving them vague ass answers and folk. Like I seen somebody doing the shit on Facebook, right? And they was giving somebody a tarot card reading, but they was saying just general shit that could apply to me, anybody that was listening, and then the person that was listening to it or they was talking to was like, "Oh my god, this person X, Y, and Z, she knows what she's talking about." I'm just like, "Oh my gosh, are you serious? Are you
Eating it up.
serious?"
Yeah, man. So I mean, as far as the zodiac, like it ain't even the same. Like, if I remember correctly, I think it's like so what it's 12 zodiacs now, right? So
Yeah,
back
yeah.
in the day, it used to be uh 13. So like one has disappeared somewhere. So like we already know that shit ain't accurate.
Now when was it?
I can't remember. I can't remember when it was. I think let me see if I can find at least what sign it was. Oh yeah, here we go. Here
Now the girl that was reading the tarot cards, she a Muslim now.
Everybody using their tarot card. That's where they came from Africa too.
Went from reading tarot cards to praying to Allah.
Oh man, yeah, this the 13th one. Ophiuchus. I think I said that right. I don't know. Has sometimes been used in sidereal astrology as the 13th astrological sign, in addition to the 12 signs of the tropical zodiac. Constellation, as defined by the 1930 International Astronomical Union's constellation boundaries, is situated behind the sun from November 29th to December 28th. Like nobody talks about this one. Like this
I
one,
ain't hip to that one.
Yeah, this the one that was taken out, if I'm correct.
And then he got right there where it suggested that it's a 14th one.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like we not even using people not even using the original system.
All right, Sutek. Well, let me ask you this: what do you say? Because you know, the ladies they love that shit. The zodiac, the females they love that shit, dog. So, I don't know a female that don't fuck with the zodiac symbols. So, what do you say to them when one of them roll up on you and be like, "What's up, Sutek?" What do you say, bro? You say, "Oh, that shit pseudo," or you gonna get that over?
Yeah, I be wanting not to hurt no feelings or nothing like that, but man, I mean, I just can't see myself just being fake about it. So I gotta keep it real and say that the shit is fake. Like if I got to the point where like if I ain't asked how I feel about it, I just shut up. Cause like females, yeah, the sisters they be on it, like and they'll feel some type of way about you if you ain't feeling it.
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Hey, if you ain't fucking with that zodiac, boy, it's over.
They ain't fucking with that zodiac, they ain't fucking with you.
Right. You gotta leave. You just gotta leave it alone, huh, Sute? You just gotta let them have their way with it, huh? Hey, you can't win no zodiac fight with no sister, man. I'm trying to tell you,
Oh,
it's gonna be the end of it, man.
so I hear somebody, what's your birthday, birth time? I'm like, oh, dang,
Like, who the fuck knows that?
right.
I had somebody ask me that, like, what time was you born? I'm like, what the fuck? How I'm supposed to know that? I gotta go dig up my original birth certificate to figure that shit out, just so you can see if you like me or not. Come on, man. Stop it. So yeah, man. I just that's why I wanted to talk about it on the show because like that presentation you did was good on it. It broke a lot of stuff down, and
Appreciate
I know a lot of our people is attached to it, and I don't know, man. Like I said with me, the only thing about it is, with the personality. And I done seen it, but I done seen it line up with other people's shit too. Like, cause they say Leos, what they say about Leo, or they say Taurus is, I don't know, man. But some of them shits be lining up with some people, and they don't be that vague. Sutek, I'm just saying, bro.
Hey, check it out. I'm a
What's up?
Virgo too.
See, and why we vibe like we do.
We go ahead, Sutek.
What is you, Sutek? Let me ask you that.
I would be an Aquarius.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know if I got any dealings with no Aquariuses.
Yeah, but in the presentation I did, I showed that too. Like the video clip I showed was damn, I can't think
See
of
if you
oh
can get it. See if you can pull the video up.
yeah, let me see if I can
Play a couple clips of your shit because we can play our own shit on our shit. You know what I'm saying? Just some key little points in there, and then we into T'Challa. All right, so T'Challa, what was you about to say about being a Virgo?
I'm September 14th. And so I'm gonna throw this out there. Some people I've dated in the past that didn't know me was able to just, I don't know, maybe they got real lucky. Maybe I'm gonna say 3 girls got real lucky in being able to describe personality traits about me within like the first 3 days of us talking on the phone.
And they knew you was a Virgo based off how you act and shit.
They was like, "When's your birthday?" Because we vibing. When's your birthday? September. I knew you was a Virgo. And then they get to telling you about yourself.
Yeah, and the shit be lining up though, don't it?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like it
But
done happened to me.
Now look, I also get, because of when my birthday is, that I have a lot of Leo tendencies. I'm a very fiery lion. I got the damn lion on my damn shoulder.
Man.
So I recognize that. Like, I always gravitated towards some of the things that line up what they say about Leos. My brother Leo, you know what I'm saying? Like, I vibe with people that own that perspective too. It's something to be
My
said
brother a
about.
Leo. My little brother a Leo.
Right. So you get that mix. Like, I feel like those signs are, if you're gonna go off of a general what's written for people that's born in this month or this month or this month. Now, it can be overgeneralized and people can get super duper lucky. That's
Right.
possible based off mathematics. Like, how many times you do something, how many times you're gonna hit or miss. But sometimes you reveal some of those characteristics in everyday conversation, because let's just face it, as scientific and technical as I can be, it's some things I just let be, bro. Because
Right.
what was we just talking about? Not to change the bill too much. What was you just talking about before we got on here?
What about me?
No, about well that too. Like, I was like,
No,
well, no, I
what
ain't
was you
gonna ask
talking
you that,
about though?
but huh?
I said, what was you talking about?
About me speaking Spanish, and some of the Mexicans population in California didn't like that.
Okay, yeah, I remember
Right. And you was like, I never experienced that, most everybody I ran into love that, and then, breaking it all down. I've experienced that too. A lot of love. But what I'm saying is some things are true across the board, in a way where it's hard to see if you know what I mean, what's fact or fiction, because based on a person's not personality, but their environment, they're only gonna experience certain things.
that. Right.
Like, people from like that be on the block, that's from the hood, like I'm talking about, this is life. You do this. Okay. It's only certain things you're gonna experience on a regular that somebody else is not gonna experience.
Right.
And I kind of look at it from that standpoint, in terms of not trying to have an argument with somebody about why it's not scientific, because it's not rooted in any science. That's true.
Yup. That's
But
true.
you know what I'm saying? If you live in such controlled variables, anything can be true within a very controlled environment. And like the Western American culture, a lot of things, media influence you to act a certain way. You read about it, so maybe you might start to embody some of those characteristics subconsciously. And before you know it, you meet a wonderful female, and she telling you about yourself.
Yup. Could that be the sister putting a spell on us or what? Sute, that's go Sute. I'm like, hey, that's a spell. Because a lot of them say they like practicing that witchcraft and stuff,
Yeah, man.
sorcery.
Don't be putting my name in no jar.
And Chavis, you're right. People, not everybody born in that month are like that. You know what I'm saying? Some people go that way, some people don't.
Yeah, get into this, Sute. I'm gonna take my dog out real quick.
All right, so this is my presentation. It's on Coffee Fireside TV. You gotta look in the archives. I'll drop the link after I'm done, though, just in case anybody want to go back and check out the sources and all that. But astrology consists of a number of belief systems that hold that there is a relationship between astronomical phenomena and events or descriptions of personalities in the human world. Astrology has been rejected by the scientific community as having no explanatory power for describing the universe. Scientific testing has found no evidence to support the premises or purported effects outlined in astrological traditions. So they're telling you it's not scientific. Where where astrology has made falsifiable predictions, it has been falsified. The most famous test was headed by Sean Carlson and included a committee of scientists and a committee of astrologers. It led to the conclusion that well, if you into astrology, you know, I already know what natal astrology is. That's like the birth charts and all that crap, I think. Perform no better than chance. So it's basically a placebo almost. Excuse me. Okay, let's go to the next slide. I should have just broke out the actual PowerPoint. let's look at some history first. Astrology can be traced to the Babylonians more than 4,000 years ago. At first, they made use of omens such as dreams, disemboweled animals, and heavenly bodies. Many people also worship the sun and to a lesser extent the moon. Eventually, monotheistic astrology won out over the omens and the sky gods, perhaps because of the obvious links between seasonal warmth and positions of the sun and moon. Although the Babylonians developed many astrological concepts at the time of Alexander the Greek, geographer, mathematician, astronomer, Ptolemy was responsible for creating the system familiar today. So the system that people use today, that's why I said it's Greek. And we still holding on to this Greek system that was created by Ptolemy. Let me keep going. Ptolemy viewed the universe as enormous spheres within spheres, an erroneous notion that persisted for centuries. In Europe, astrology grew in popularity during the Renaissance because of the interest in science and, astronomy. In the 16th and 17th century, Christian theologians and popes condemned astrology as challenging free will and prevailing views of all powerful God. Even the founders of modern astronomy, Copernicus, Tycho Brahe, I don't know how to say that, and Galileo held astrology in high esteem. So all these Greek philosophers, they was rocking with it. Man, I should have just broke out the PowerPoint. Let me see. And of course it frees up. Okay. All right. The horizon to horizon window is called the zodiac, and it's divided into 12 window panes called houses or signs, each defined by one of 12 out of a possible 88 constellations of stars it contains. Constellations are named for the animals or peoples they seem to resemble. In fact, the word zodiac means circle of animals, and it is based on the same root as the word zoo. Both both zodiac and zoos are filled with animals. Mm. Your sun or natal sign, the type used in newspapers and horoscopes. Okay, yeah, so this is the actual natal sign. Is the house or window pane that the sun is in at the moment of your birth. If the sun is near the constellation of stars that define the house of Sagittarius, the Archer, you will be called a Sagittarius. Almost, almost of equal importance is the ascendant or rising sign. This is the zodiac house. This is the zodiac house rising on the eastern horizon at the moment of your birth. So, if the constellation of stars that define Sagittarius appears on the eastern horizon, your rising sign is Sagittarius. That's how they figure this. Yeah, they figure this stuff out. These are the signs. You already know. You can take a look at them. Where's Aquarius? Democratic, humanitarian, objective. Like, okay, even with mine, like, am I? I wouldn't call myself a humanitarian, but you know, I mean, if I was romanticizing myself, I would. Um, I am objective. Um, let's see, Pisces, imaginative, spiritual. What sign y'all said y'all was? You got the Sag, free, careless, optimistic. Scorpios are passionate, secretive, sadistic. Like that's Barnum effect on a hunter. So let's keep going. All right. These attributes were not obtained through any sort of scientific observation, but simply reflect the shapes ancient peoples thought they saw. Uh, Ancient peoples thought they saw in various patterns of stars and popular association to these shapes. So the house of Sagittarius is defined by a set of stars thought to look like a centaur, a half human, half horse creature wielding a bow and arrow. The centaur was an untamed beast characterized as free, careless, and optimistic. If you were born under Sagittarius, you may also possess these attributes. We go to signs that we are familiar with. All right, man. See, this is one of the big reasons why I did this presentation as well. It's astrology or the zodiac chart in Kemet. The Dendera Temple is a complex of one of the best preserved temple sites in Upper Kemet. And this is the only place that we see any astrological uh, attestations, right? So the Dendera Temple is a complex of one of the best preserved temple sites in Upper Egypt, at a rather isolated place at the edge of the desert, about 2.5 kilometers or 1.6 miles southwest of the modern town, lies what Dendera is famous for, a mostly Greco-Roman temple complex known in ancient Egypt as Ionet, or I have to have the brothers say that. Uh, the official deity of the city was the crocodile. Crocodiles were also venerated as deities in other Egyptian cities, which gave rise to many quarrels, notably with Ombos. Now we continue. It was Champollion, famous for deciphering the Egyptian hieroglyphs, who found in one of the cartouches of the zodiac the Greek word autocrator written in hieroglyphs, thus leading him to conclude that the artifact was made during the Greco-Roman period. And there's the zodiac scene from the Dendera Temple, right? It's a Greco-Roman scene from a mostly Greco-Roman temple. Let's keep going. If my laptop allows me. Okay, so this is the video.
Pisces. Astrology is so pervasive that just about everyone has been indoctrinated with the alleged character of their star sign.
They're fiery, a bit unreliable, though.
The stars.
Do you? Try that. What makes you say that?
There we go.
What?
What makes you say that?
Because I can see the stars.
You probably know your sign. Or do you? Try this. Wait for your birthday, then stay up all night and watch where the sun rises. It will pass in front of one of the 12 constellations of the zodiac. They say I am a Sagittarius. So on my birthday, you might expect the sun to rise in the constellation Sagittarius. And it did, 2,000 years ago, when the Babylonians made all this up. But it doesn't now. In the last 2,000 years, the Earth has wobbled like a top. So now on my birthday, the sun rises in Scorpio, not Sagittarius. So maybe you'd have to be a Capricorn to be a Sagittarius, and Scorpios would have to be Libras. See, astrologers are off one full sign. In 2,000 more years, they'll be off 2 signs. But they don't seem to care. So in these reflective moments, I ask myself, am I a fun-loving Sagittarius or a sexy Scorpio. You believe in astrology?
A little bit.
What makes you say that?
All right, so as y'all hear, the position of the axis of the Earth that causes that wobble has thrown off. It's thrown off the astrological zodiac signs by at least one sign. So that's one thing. That's actually something I totally forgot about. So hold on, did I freeze up here? Did I freeze up? Yep, look like I did. Okay. Yeah, so
What happened, Sutek?
It was free. You come back.
yeah, it froze up for a minute, but yeah, he was just explaining how the wobble of the Earth axis has made the astrological charts thrown off by at least one sign. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's
So
what I want to see too, man. Cause that's some shit. Like when you drop this, like that was some new information to me. You know what I'm saying? I want you to play that if you could get it to work.
yeah, I play it over again. I just played it. I play it over again though. Okay.
This is
Hey, you said
what? So astrology.
yeah, that's the one.
Okay. What makes you say that?
Because I can see the stars.
You probably know your sign, or do you? Try this. Wait for your birthday, then stay up all night and watch where the sun rises. It will pass in front of one of the 12 constellations of the zodiac. They say I am a Sagittarius. So on my birthday, you might expect the sun to rise in the constellation Sagittarius. And it did, 2,000 years ago, when the Babylonians made all this up. But it doesn't now. In the last 2,000 years, the Earth has wobbled like a top. So now on my birthday, the sun rises in Scorpio, not Sagittarius. So maybe you'd have to be a Capricorn to be a Sagittarius, and Scorpios would have to be Libras. See, astrologers are off one full sign. In 2,000 more years, they'll be off two signs. But they don't seem to care. So in these reflective moments, I ask myself, am I a fun-loving Sagittarius or a sexy Scorpio?
Yeah, so I would love to get some visuals of that. That'll be something you have to come back to. And also have this one. Can't remember old boy name.
Yeah, when I seen that part, boy, that opened me up.
This one right here.
Yeah, when you dropped the video, I was like, damn, stars don't line up.
Not line up. See, this is gonna be going into the Barnum effect, what I was talking about earlier.
Okay, let's go.
Astrology is so pervasive that just about everyone has been indoctrinated with the alleged character of their star sign.
They're fiery, a bit unreliable, they love traveling, they're very expansive, they're quite spiritual.
Loyal, spend too much money, good leader.
They can be a bit moody swing one way and the other. They can be very bumpy 1 minute and then a bit down, and you never know what to get with them, my husband says.
A full quarter of the British population claim to believe in astrology. That's more than believe in any one of the gods touted by religions. Day in, day out, astrological horoscopes get far more newspaper column inches than science. Amusingly, It falls foul of our modern taboo against lazy stereotyping. How would we react if a newspaper published a daily column that read something like this? Germans, it is in your nature to be hardworking and methodical, which should serve you well at work today. In your personal relationships, especially this evening, you will need to curb your natural tendency to obey orders. Chinese, inscrutability has many advantages, but it may be your undoing today. British, your stiff upper lip may serve you well in business dealings, but try to relax and let yourself go in your social life. And so on through 12 national stereotypes. Of course, the astrology columns are not as offensive as that, but we should ask ourselves exactly where the difference lies. Both are guilty of facile discrimination, dividing humanity up into exclusive groups based on no evidence. Regardless of Neil Spencer's concerns, I wanted to conduct a simple trial. We selected 20 people at random. We asked them to read that week's horoscope for Capricorn, but as a test, we said it applied to their own star sign.
Not only do you have clever Mercury and ambitious Mars focusing on success,
but now the sun is at the same pivotal mid-haven angle of your solar chart.
I have no idea what that means. Put simply, this means that this is your moment to go that extra mile to become the person you dream of becoming.
Remember, however, that there will be others who want what you have and will stop at nothing to get it.
Astrologers say this should fit just Capricorn and not the rest. But what actually happened?
Yeah, maybe. To be honest, I felt there's some Mercury energy this week because there's a lot of arguments around and a lot of bad vibes. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. One light bulb joke.
It could apply to me as much as to the next person.
But yeah, in a way, yeah, I am. I'm going on a flamenco course in Spain.
That isn't necessarily pertaining to me this week. It's pertaining to me generally.
Manner of it.
The same number of people agreed that the horoscope was accurate for them as disagreed, and similar results are found with proper large-scale experiments. Technically, all but one of our group should have disagreed, namely our only Capricorn.
Not at this moment, no.
Am I taking this too seriously? I believe astrology misleads the public, denies scientific progress, and belittles our universe. There's a far richer way of looking at the cosmos. Astronomy is a triumph of the human intellect, a real science, constantly enriched by new evidence. Forget about the astrologers' charts with their constellations and planets moving in and out of this house or that house. Go into a real observatory and look at the Milky Way. Or go out into the country on a moonless night. Just lie on your back and gaze up at the stars. The heart-stopping sight you'd see is 100 billion stars spinning through an expanding universe at a speed of 1 million miles per day. The light from some of the closer stars started its journey at the time of the dinosaurs. You're staring into a deep time machine.
To start with now, go.
Yeah, so he's showing you how the Barnum effect can be put into motion with these zodiac signs. Everybody agreed that the sign that he read to them matches their personality, and for none of them had the right zodiac sign. And the person that was actually supposed to agree whose zodiac sign it was, they said it didn't sound like them. So that's why I said like a broken clock could be right at least 2 times a day. You know what I'm saying? So I don't take these things.
Let me say this real quick. That's what I'm talking about in a controlled environment. where, watch this. I'm not saying that it's not, that is anything more than what it is. We understand what it is. Here's what I'm about to point out. We understand that the majority of black people are rooted in some type of Abrahamic belief system.
Mm-hmm.
And especially with the sisters, a lot of them are Hebrew, Christian, Muslim, whatever. They what they are. We're not gonna change that. Like I know it's strong with the sisters. Not everybody. I'm saying those that are. You're not gonna change their mind. Just like us over here on this side, you're not gonna change my mind to start believing in that again. But if you have a controlled environment where you go somewhere and you happen to be making friends that say they all believe in this type of teaching for the Bible, and you happen to you want to visit an agnostic church, or you want to visit a Baptist church, and you go and you hang out with a bunch of Baptist Christians. If you come from a Baptist Christian background, you're probably gonna get along with them for a little while.
Right.
And then the chances of you meeting somebody you meeting somebody, that the sisters is heavy with astrology. And so if you go somewhere where there's a lot of Christian black sisters, hello, you're going to meet a certain the field starts to get narrow. Now, the likelihood of that lining up every time perfect for you, no, that's not rooted in science. And no, it don't happen like that just on a mass scale. But when it does happen, it's sometimes, like you said, if a broken clock is right twice a day, it's still going to line up. And if you happen to, we just call that probability. Pointing out the few
Right.
times where you can actually say that the broken clock is wrong. I mean, that is right.
That's a
As
fact.
pseudo as it may be.
Fact though. Like, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna say everyone is wrong because, like, I mean, that would contradict my point. What I just said, like, a broken clock is right at least twice a day. Like, so I mean, yeah, you gonna find zodiac signs that actually align with some people's personality, genuinely align with some people's personality. Because some of these signs, people just be accepting whatever the zodiac says. Like, but yeah, it's gonna be those that actually do genuinely line up with some of these characteristics, just based on, like you said, the on probability. You know what I'm saying? It's going to happen. Just like it's going to, like, you're gonna have people who uh, don't align with it. You're gonna have some that do. You know, that's just the way it is.
And Sean, you're right. It is Indo-European. You know what I'm saying? We know it's not rooted in our systems. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never played no djembe rhythm for astrology. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, Sean, we ain't saying it's African at all. We know it's shit non-scientific,
right.
non-African. We just getting on here speaking, saying, hey, X, Y, and Z happened. Let's talk about it. Because we ain't the only ones that has experienced this. You know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
did somebody see reading in the comments?
Nah, I just got back in.
So Juju said, I just heard that tarot cards come from Jewish mysticism.
Probably. I ain't never looked into it. I ain't never fucked with no tarot cards. I remember Miss Cleo used to be on back in the day.
And,
Y'all remember them infomercials?
yep.
Yeah.
That's how old I am.
Call now for your free read.
Yeah. I just
Hey,
like their voice. Hey, y'all know she probably made a killing doing that shit.
You know she did.
Yeah, because this back when credit cards and shit had first got popping, and folks was just having them. She probably made a killing off that Miss Cleo. But I think she got sued too. I had seen some documentary where she had got sued for a lot of money.
You know they weren't gonna let her have that. She was getting too much
Right.
money. Not gonna let a black woman have it.
Yeah, because she was getting hella white folks money too. She wasn't just getting our money.
Exactly.
Once you start getting that white folks money and scheming them, that's when they got to start investigations. It's like, hold on, they taking us up top.
I'm gonna read these last two slides and then I'm gonna drop the
Right.
link in the chat just in case anybody want to go back and check it out. Uh, in a 1971 experiment by Bernie L. Silverman, Bernie I. Silverman, subjects were presented with 12 personality sketches drawn from a set of horoscopes and asked to choose the four that best describe them. When the descriptions were not identified by astrological signs, subjects were not particularly likely to pick the horoscope for their own sign. So they basically did a blind test and they told the subjects to pick the four. Damn, I think this should have the four signs that most likely described it, and more often than not, they did not pick their own signs. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said a lot of people just be gravitating to some of these characteristic traits, regardless of if it's genuinely them or not. You know what I'm saying? Oh, let's see what else. When the descriptions were labeled by signs, however, the subjects were more likely to pick the horoscope for their own sign, obviously. Now for a reality check. First, the houses of the zodiac are not of equal size. It takes the sun 7 days to pass through Scorpio and 44 days to pass through Virgo. In addition, there are not 12 but 13 constellations in the zodiac. Yep, I had the right zodiac. The 13th has fell out or has been left out. Also, Earth slowly wobbles over 1,000 years. This process is called precession, which means the apparent positions of the sun and constellations on January the 1st, 2007 were not the same as their positions on January 1st, 2000 years ago. If you are in Aquarius, you should read the Pisces horoscope. When astrology was developed 2000 years ago, the sun was in the house of Pisces, not Aries when you were born. Newspaper horoscopes routinely ignore or use strange ad hoc explanations to discount this odd fact. So that's just again touching on the two videos that I played with the 13th zodiac and the wobble of the Earth, the precession. It's throwing the zodiac signs off. Go ahead.
Yeah, see, and see, once I seen that in your presentation, that's when I was like, damn, I gotta concede. I gotta concede, dog, because that's science right there. I can't fight with that. I can't
That's
fight that.
facts. That's
Say that
facts.
Can't fight
again.
that.
Say
Yeah.
that. Say it again. What you
Yeah,
can see
yeah,
with?
yeah, man. That's science, man. You can't fuck with that, man. Because like and I know that
No, no,
because
no. I'm saying run it back because I missed what you said.
talking to
What you
me or
agree with?
with the stars not being in the same position that they were in. Because I know
Oh,
astronomy. You know what I'm saying? I deal with astronomy and
facts.
I know that. Like I know that. So but when Sutek tied it in with astronomy, it was like you gotta concede. You know what I'm saying? You gotta concede because with me knowing astronomy and Sutek putting that together, somebody already done did they already done did the work on it. So it's like you can't tie those two together. They don't go together. Shit wasn't in the same position. The earth wobble and all that. So science wins.
You crazy.
That's
Science
100.
wins, y'all. But at the same time, though, that's why we having this show is because then Sutek hit me with the Bynum effect. I can't win with Sutek, man. He got all the bases covered.
Yeah. So like when we was doing that, going against the astrologers. What was that like 2 years ago? Sute, when was it? We was banging on them.
About a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Yeah, we was on Facebook like heavy with the argument, and they just kept on making up stuff. So it's just they just try to dig a deeper rabbit hole. And
I remember that actually. I remember that. I stayed out of it because, like I said, I was on the fence with the shit. But once
yeah.
science, once science, once you start bringing the science in, you put it together.
Oh
You
yeah,
got
yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right because remember there was an argument in the back chat. Once before we were talking about it, they were trying to say it was, what I'm saying, they was married or something like that. And I'm like, nah, we ain't married. And that, can y'all hear me?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So most of that stuff, like astrology is comes from or stems from basically fringe theories. You know what I'm saying? And for the audience,
Now you just cut out, bro.
Oh, okay. I thought that was my shit.
can y'all hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. So basically, what I was saying with astrology is like that's fringe theory work. You know what I mean? And I was trying to define it. Can y'all still hear me?
Yep.
All right. It's just basically an idea or viewpoint which differs from the accepted scholarship in its field. That's pretty much what it is. So when we go and we try to do look for the science in it, it becomes sketchy and murky. But at the beginning of the show, I like what y'all was saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? People try to align emotional feelings and responses or how they vibe with a person up to like the what's that stuff called? Like what is Leos and all that old stuff, right? Because y'all was
Zodiac.
talking about that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Y'all
The
was talking which is
compatibility. The
sign.
Facts.
compatibility.
Yeah,
And see, that's
compatibility.
what I was saying, Sean. Like some of that shit, the only thing I messed with was the personality thing in it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like fuck with all of it, like the compatibility and all this and that. You know what I'm saying? Because you could be compatible with anybody. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can have things in common and tarot card and all that shit. All I was saying was it lined up. It lined up with my personality trait when I looked at it, and that was it for me. That was it. Like I
Uh-huh.
didn't like and I wasn't saying it was scientific because I didn't look into the science of it. I was reading that shit. Like when I was young, I used to read the newspaper, the funny section, and then I started once I got a little older. I started reading the zodiac sign shit part, and it was other little stuff that I read. But I would read it, and I read it. I'm like, damn. And then I just got in the habit of reading it. So I don't know. I could have hypnotized my damn self.
Yeah. So look, I'm gonna throw this at you real quick. So damn, why traffic slow down so quick? All right, so let's say this. What about I know y'all heard that bump, but what about the what is that, fortune cookies?
No, now we know that. That's super. Like that ain't even
Hey,
Chinese.
that ain't got no.
Yeah, that ain't even Chinese.
No, slow down though. Cause some people crack it open, right? They crack it open. And then they read the fortune, and then next thing you know, they try to relay it to something. I'm just only trying to I'm just trying to show how we take and flip stuff.
No,
You
you're
know,
Right.
Not
right.
not necessarily saying that it actually has any type of meaning, but I know what you're saying because it kind of line up with how you feeling and expressing yourself or whatnot. But fortune cookies may line up with some people's prosperity and or numerology because they throw them numbers on the back, right? They play that game.
yep. Yep.
Yup.
That fortune cookie that would go back to the Barnum effect. These wide, broad characteristics or these broad descriptions that's supposed to fit, like they can fit damn near anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yup. I agree. I'm
That's
glad you
why I
brought
was
that
that's why
back
I was
up.
kind of throwing it in the mix. I was kind of throwing it in the mix like that, not to like really play on, you know what I mean, like the other aspect, but that's one that kind of fall into the line of that same game. But I think it's human nature for some people to have that kind of an emotional response or attachment to certain things because now what you're seeing or what I'm seeing, I'm not going to say you. What I'm seeing is that brothers and sisters that are trying to reacclimate themselves to certain African traditions and systems and things of that nature, they're starting to now turn the deities of the Remech You know what I mean? Like the 12 famous deities, pretty much. They're trying to turn them into astrological figures. You feel
Yeah,
me?
I
Yeah.
mean it's all up and down. My what's the name?
But see, all we gotta do is go to the text, find that though. So
Yeah, we ain't
that's
gonna never
not
find.
cipher.
Right, right. We'll never
Yeah.
find out what it said. But you know, because you hear these people, and you know, they be like, that's your Jehudi mess showing. That's that Asar in you. That's, you know what I'm saying. That's that you know, they start saying all that stuff. Like
Well,
that's
let
your
me ask you this, Sean, since
yeah.
you brought that up, or do you think they just applying the attributes of that deity to a person versus saying it's an astrological symbol?
Oh man, that's a good question
Because
because
we and the reason why I say that is
yeah,
because if we look at our teacher, Wujau Min Ib Iri, what? What's the
yeah,
last
My
part?
my
All right. And he told us what his name meant. You know what I'm saying? He said that, that which is balanced or something like that. So it's like that can apply to exactly what you saying.
mm-hmm,
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if they necessarily making it an astrological thing or they making it an African thing, because if you give somebody an African name, it's gonna have a deity in it and it's gonna be pertaining to their attributes when dealing with Kemet, even with all the Nisu biddies. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
Mostly all of them got a deity in their name. You know what I'm saying? It may be dealing with the attribute, or it may be dealing with, saying they the like Ra Mesu, born of Ra. You know what I'm saying? Like it
Mm-hmm.
just yeah. So when it comes to Kemet, I wouldn't apply that
So,
way.
so is this your inner segment? Is this your inner segment working right now?
No, I would say I would say this is my Jehudi, my wisdom.
Your wisdom,
Hey,
your
what?
Judy.
Watch this. I got Jehudi on my arm. And what are you supposed to be, Satep, Virgo?
Oh,
Do you consider me a person that deals with logic, always talking about quantum physics and all that?
yeah, hell yeah.
I'm just saying, there's ways to line stuff up. Like that's the whole point. Like we can take certain the deity that attribute can be so wide. Every deity, for that matter, can be saying that they dealt with logic. You know what I'm saying? It depending on what they doing for you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you can make that argument, but there's
Yeah,
reason.
but here's my counter argument to that per se. Like when they get to saying those things like that, then it goes back to what Satep said at the beginning. Like we can go to the text, or we could extract that from the Remech and see if that line up with the culture, right? And we don't really see those things like that in the culture, where they start, you know what I mean, resembling people or to that. Now with the Nasuts, you know, when you get these, you know, those names, you get your 5 names and all of that, and they have intimate meaning, and I think a lot of this is spawned on intimate meaning. Uh, with people, you know, when they start trying to name themselves and things of that nature, it's all about that, and they're trying to resemble or align themselves with a certain deity. But like in the Yoruba culture, you see how people like to try to amass them, well, you know, align themselves with certain deities in the Yoruba culture, but then they go get a divination or a reading or whatnot, and then, you know, it's a whole nother, you know, deity that they are actually uh aligning themselves with, or the reading is aligning them with, I should say. And then next thing you know, they're a child of like Shango. You know what I'm saying? And the whole time they was over here talking about somebody else. It's Eshu or something like that. But
Right, and
I
that's I wasn't. Hold on, one second. I
go ahead,
wasn't
go ahead.
saying that. I would. I hold on, Sean. You talking to? I consider you my teacher when it comes to the meta nature. Satep and Roz my teacher when it comes to the meta nature. Definitely Saber. You know what I'm saying, and so many others. Like I wasn't saying that was what, you know what I'm saying. I ain't green like that, bro. You know what I mean? Like I ain't saying that. Oh, this is what like
No,
Jehu.
no, no. I'm not saying what you're saying.
No,
I'm not
no, right.
saying
And I'm just wanting to clear that up because you know what I'm saying. I don't want to get they don't sound bite this video on me. had me on the fence. I just want to clear something up. Like, hey, look, you know, certain people would try to look like what Damo just said. Saying Damo, he said some people's perception is that the deities line up, and I'm saying that I've met just as many people that will be born in the month, between August and late August and towards the end of September into October, and they don't have Jehudi tatted on their arm. You know what I'm saying? My other brother's birthday is in he's the 7th or the 6th, I believe. He don't have Jehudi tatted on his arm. You know what I'm saying? But he's a Virgo, and supposedly all these other traits line up. You know what I'm saying? According to astrology. So it's like I was making an argument for both sides to say you can't say that, oh, well, Jehudi or any other deity can deal with logic, trying to line it up with something that don't even, like you said, is not in the culture. Definitely not, because if that's what the scribe thought that was that embodied that deity, we would see that in the sesh, and we don't. We see Jehudi described as the problem solver, et cetera, et cetera. We understand characteristics about that person who, you know what I'm saying, exhibit those characteristics. We don't hear that about Sekhmet. We don't hear that about Sobek. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely understand that. I just want to clear that up because I ain't trying to argue for, astrology has some sort of, truth based on the meta nature or anything dealing with Kemet on camera.
Nah, I'm gonna say it don't on and off. It definitely don't. I know that for a fact. I know that for
Yeah,
a fact.
you know what I like? What I like though is that when we really go back to the African traditions and we listen to like the famous phrase like let the ancestors speak. You know what I mean? Like we hear a lot of woofing from everybody, but then when we take the time out to let the ancestors speak, it's a whole nother story that we see, that we hear, that we research, that we extract, that other people just ain't willing to put in the time to kind of understand. They take the shortest, they take the easiest path to ignorance, right? They immediately, you know what I'm saying? They dismiss everything that's in the culture because they don't want to learn that and learn everything wrong. You know what I mean? We put all this time and energy into learning all this other stuff foreign to what you're really trying to claim to be or reacclimate yourself to, and give that foreign energy, that power over you to, you know what I'm saying, to deal with certain stuff. It's crazy to me. It's baffling. Like right now, I got the Power of African Cultures book, right? And I intentionally bought that because I got another list of books that I am waiting to pull up at the crib, and I'm gonna get into because it's going to give me something else to like dig into because I like studying the historicity of African cultures, but I also like the traditions and the path that it actually takes in quantifying where we are. Y'all like the way I put them words together?
Man, sit down so much, y'all.
I channel my inner Ali Muhammad. You feel me? Uh, but nah, man.
So we hear you.
Yeah. But I was just rocking like that, man, because I just think that our people, man, we just got so much more to like learn and understand and know instead of just wasting our time just accepting any old belief and then trying to infuse it. Now this book that I just got, I literally got this book today, is more so toward West Africa. Excuse me, more so toward West Africa. And I'm excited about reading it because I got to extract some stuff dealing with that another research topic, that I'm trying to finish up on along with that other book that I got. So now I'm adding an extra. Now I got 24. What I got 24, 25 books now that I'm gonna have in this research, cross-referencing and reading from the other perspectives because they're talking about the power of Islam, the face of Islam, and all of this in Senegal and in Nigeria, as far as a part of infused African culture. So we gonna have
Oh, did you cut
I
out?
go. Nah. I was talking to my barber.
Oh.
So we got a lot to learn right here. I just think that from a cultural perspective, like we finna get in it right here, you know. And it goes back to y'all topic, man. But you know, when we start looking at all these other things, do we see that? Because I know somebody said earlier there was a sister. I forget who said. I think it was either Sutek or Satepara. A sister reading tarot cards and practicing Islam. Like
Mm-hmm.
where she get
No,
that
she
from?
wasn't. She was reading tarot. She started out reading tarot cards, and
Oh, okay.
then and then I guess she converted to Islam. But I'm just saying, you went from one pseudo to the next pseudo. But I guess
Yeah.
I guess if it if it saves your life or whatever, I ain't judging. I know tarot card wasn't the answer though. That definitely was not the answer. It'll probably get you a couple dollars in your pocket because all that shit, like you said, that numerology and all that shit based around getting folks money, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That shit,
If we're gonna be honest, yeah.
yeah, I mean that shit based around getting folks money. At least if you convert to Islam, now I ain't saying Islam ain't out for people cash, but like if you just go from reading tarot cards, if you a female, you read from tarot cards and you switch over to Islam, I don't think it's about getting money. I think it's about changing your lifestyle at the root
Damn, I
of it.
like this book, yo. My bad. I was saying I like this book because it's the sources like after the end of each chapter, yo. Them sources right there. This more kind of writes. To be honest, man, this book that I'm reading, this one, it reads just like our work, yo.
What
Like
is
the
it?
way it's called The Power of African Cultures. It's
Okay.
written, it's written how we write, yo. Like
Who
real
the
work,
author?
like the method, huh?
Who the author?
Uh, Toyin Falola,
Okay.
Nigerian. Yeah, so instead of like, I've been trying to like hunt down like books written from like uh West African scholars. You know what I'm saying? Instead of relying on westernized academia, you know, trying to have agency over African traditions. And like one of the sources in here is people who are a part of the Agbani society. And you know for a freaking fact that if you get anything from the Agbani society, it ain't got, you know what I'm saying? This ain't nothing that they giving Westerners. This is
Right.
some this is some in the tradition type stuff. So you got to be affiliated to get a lot of that inside stuff, man. And I got it because I'm trying to restore the culture. You know what I mean? Like we got too many people that's uh we like to call other people culture vultures, but we turn around and we doing the same thing to these other people. You know what I mean? Whether it's trying to be Native Americans, Moors, Muslims, um, you know what I'm saying, Christians. We just got to tell the truth, like reading, like read tarot cards, astrology, all of that. Like, why we ain't implementing African traditions and culture in our thing the way that we need to, man. It just behooves me. So I'm getting ready to have a culture war. I don't know who gonna be. I don't know who my enemy is, but I know they exist.
Sean, you crazy, man. He said, "I'll get ready to have a culture war." Hey, what Tupac said? Well, yeah. You got your money right, Sean. You before you go to war, get your money right. You got your money right, Sean. Sean up in the crypto, y'all. He going to war
Hey,
now.
shout
But
out to
see,
Bitcoin.
yeah, Sean got his money right. He going to war now. Y'all better watch out.
Hmm.
Better watch out. Yeah, man. Let's get back. Let's get back because I see Sutek that came back in the fold.
Yeah, he back.
What's up, Sutek?
Man, I agree though. I feel like we do need to have a culture war. 'Cause like you said, bro, I'm saying that same shit all the time. Like, how we gonna complain about people trying to steal our culture, and then we turn around and we got tarot cards, we got turbans on, and this shit. You know what I'm
Oh man. Hey, he said the turban. Hey, is that the shit Nick Cannon be having on his head?
Yep, that's you be having that fake turban on.
I be seeing people with that shit, man. I be like, where you get that from? Where you even find that at, dog?
You got the more science turbans. Hmm. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So we
Now,
definitely
let
need
me
to.
ask y'all this: when it comes to the turban, where's that shit originate from?
Them desert dwellers in the Middle East. As
All
far
right,
as
so let me say that. Let me ask y'all a question. What if y'all took a trip over there? Dress, would y'all wear that shit like a turban and all that shit?
yeah, I would if we was over there because I know I understand the purpose of it. You know what I'm saying? It was for like keeping the sun, not only the sun, but the sun and the sand.
Sun in
Uh,
the sand.
For
yeah,
practicality, hell yeah.
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
pass out around that bad boy.
I just wanted to make sure, man, we wasn't completely throwing it out the window.
No, no, you know what it is, bro? Like, what about culture? How do y'all feel about cultural appropriation there? How do you define that?
Well, go ahead and break it down.
Okay. So we know all up and down on social media, especially I'm gonna talk for us that practice um any of the African traditions, and I'm gonna go with music specifically to get straight to the point. When we do West African drums, there's this debate about should white people be doing West African drum and dance all the time. It's always when we invite people to our shows, a group of our friends, somebody in somebody's family. You know what I mean? I've never experienced it in my family on this side of the family. Like my family's respectful of people of all creed and colors. You know what I'm saying? We not, ain't no brainwashed over here. We just respectful to people until you prove otherwise. Um, so, you know, we got to understand that people are gonna do certain things based on the time. Everybody does some of everything today. You can pull up kids in India breakdancing right now. You can pull up kids in Korea roller skating, b-boying, rocking the fitted caps. You can pull up all of them in America that I just explained in a dance troupe. And for all that they've known, everybody who's looked like them that they've seen on social media does everything. And they've only seen the people that talk about how, like, for instance, comedic yoga. If they only look up people who talk about comedic yoga and it's the only source that they look to, they're never going to come across the actual papyrus or the actual, you know what I'm saying, looking at it, or they're not going to think logically the fact that the deities don't, you know what I mean, like a person don't stand there like Unc say with two left feet facing like this. Like, come on, man. Like, that's been broken down on the sexual mind and meta-netris for so long. But a person's culture and environment, if they only expose themselves, we call it being sheltered. So many of us live such sheltered lives because we only want to gravitate towards those who think like us. So when they hear us coming and saying, well, there's a reality outside of the one that you have not seen or experienced, it's hard for us to get a grip of someone coming with the exact opposite experience, no matter how pseudo it is. It's like we can't let it go. It's like, or no matter how right it is in terms of people on the logic side, the people on the pseudo side will call us pseudo. They'll say, no, you pseudo, you don't know what you're talking about, because every other person I've seen, I can pull up hundreds of comedic yoga teachers, and you'd be like, that's not an argument. No matter how many people practice comedic yoga, that don't mean that that's what the Ramich was practicing. You know what I'm saying? All of these arguments that people throw out just because that's what they've seen. I feel like we need to, keep it in perspective. Like, people can have their opinions based on their environment, versus it being cultural appropriation because, oh, well, you know, I want to do African dance and put on something and I may not be African. Is it really a problem? Not with you
So
being,
what you saying, T'Challa, is if I want to go to the Chinese place, I'm allowed to eat with chopsticks and not get stared at funny. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That's basically what you're saying. Like, because just imagine if we had a Chinese restaurant, you know, we're American, we eat with a fork and spoon. So you saying is it a culture appropriation if I pull out the chopsticks and I start using them?
That's what I'm saying.
Ain't nothing wrong with it, right?
I mean, what you actually gonna look more crazy pulling out your silverware fork. You know what I mean? They actually look at you funny. It's funny how we look at other people and we have certain stereotypes and we can
Hey
be
man,
a
I'm
little.
eating Chinese with a fork, yo.
I'm saying I'm not saying you got to, but it shouldn't be nothing wrong with it.
The
Hey, I'm
only
eating it with
thing
a
I ain't
fork
even
is,
too,
try. I ain't
but
even gonna
it's
lie. I ain't
only
even trying
because
to eat Chinese.
oh, what you gonna
I
get,
don't
the
even know how to
noodles?
use them motherfuckers. If I knew how to use them chopsticks, I would though. But I pull
I
it out
just,
my fork, bro. I don't
hey,
know how to
I'll
use
be weak. I seen Sute trying to use chopsticks. Hey, I would be dead, bro.
it.
Hey, check this
Hey,
proverb
everything
out from the Woodloff. Check this proverb out from the Woodloff.
Hold on, Sean. Because I wanted to finish off though.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I wanted to finish off about the cultural program. The only thing is, I like what you're saying, T'Challa, but the only thing is, white people try to appropriate themselves in everybody's fucking culture, man. It just be like, goddamn, like when black people fuck with shit, we fuck with a specific, you know, all right, so niggas want to be Indians. It ain't motherfuckers trying to be Chinese though, is what I'm saying. Like, but you got white people trying to be black. They want to be Mexican. Because a lot of them want to be mad. They speak Spanish and all that shit.
Well, I hear
Then
right.
you
I'm not saying
then you
racism,
got
white
them. You know,
supremacy
they
don't exist,
always want
bro.
to do every goddamn thing.
That's facts, bro. Racism, white supremacy is. I mean, we speak English. That kills the argument. Like we know who brought that, and we know what their culture is in terms of, you know what I'm saying. We know that. What I'm talking about is like every time we see anybody, that's the argument. Like we don't. It's not enough people looking at it from a side of, okay, so how many times we're gonna say that? If we say that about every single, because let's just be honest, everybody that mess with RBG or, you know, the Marcus Garvey mentality, or, you know, everybody don't hate white people. Everybody don't hate Koreans. Everybody don't hate Indians. Everybody don't hate, you know, just because you black. All black people don't just hate everybody else and don't want to see them have fun and explore and enjoy life as well. But that doesn't excuse the overwhelming majority of how like black people are not represented nearly enough based on the amount that we influence the world. Yeah, now that, in my opinion, absolutely, especially in the arts world, we know
Yeah,
that.
they like to appropriate themselves and then they try to steal your shit. I mean, we read about it in the destruction of black civilization. I mean, he talk
Yeah.
about how they ease their way on in. You know what I'm saying? Every time they ease their way in, and then they start taking shit over, man. So I just feel like with them, and this me being in Chris mode. I just because that's why I was telling y'all earlier offline. I was like, man, some of that shit he be right on, but you know, we gotta move past some of that shit too, though. Don't forget it, but we gotta move past and come a little bit more other
I
than the
mean,
violence way.
how
And
many
I'm
video games got black characters, bro?
how many niggas is making video games?
Exactly. That's my right.
What's stopping them though? What's stopping them?
Now, there's it's a small, like in this, because you know I follow a lot of streamers. I play myself. It's a small, you know, people that really get into coding is a small amount. What percentage of black men that play, or black women, black people that play video games are into computer, you know, coding and making them?
What's stopping them though? That's my question. Like, I'm saying like, all right, we see it's a void in there, but it's people that play video games. So what's stopping them from? What's stopping them? What's the barrier for stopping them from creating games? Because like I don't want it to be like, oh, we getting blocked. Like, oh, they not. I don't know how hard it is to make a video game, but if you in that space, like, and it's black people in there, like you say, they should be doing that shit. They should be able to make. And if you that good, a company will invest in you. You know what I'm saying? Or you could start your own shit. Like, ain't nothing stopping black people from making video games. Like, I don't know where you was going with that, but I just don't. I don't like that when we talk about what's. My question is, what's stopping them?
Man, they stopping themselves, yo. Like I
Stopping
really
themselves.
like. Look, man, I'm gonna just kick it to you, man. My son, man, before he started this own rapping aspiration shit, I was like, what you want to do? You know what I'm saying? When he was a kid, and he was, like 11 or 12, 13. He was like, Dad, because he was so in love with the game. He was like, man, I want to be able to make a video game. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, in my mind, when he was 12 or 13, I was like, nigga, you do that shit, you gonna be dope. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, well, you got to go to school and you gotta learn how to code, and you gotta learn how to do all of that techie stuff in order to be able to do that. You know what I mean? But I wanted to see how long he was gonna hold on to that, because if his passion began to build up, then I was willing to like send him off to do stuff. But over time, he got into music and all of that, and that stuff changed. So it's like I wish he would have, kind of did that, because I know video gamers. I don't know the lifestyle they live or nothing like that, but man, just him being able to do what you just said, make a video game about a black person. You feel me? That were orchestrated, like the characters and things of that nature. Because when you think about like a game that y'all really are familiar with, right? Assassin's Creed, right? You know what I'm saying? Because hella graphics. One of the dopest graphic games I've seen, y'all, like, even getting into it. You know what I'm saying? But when you pull the garb off that guy, he don't look nothing like you. So what if you played a video game similar to like how Black Panther emerged, in 2018, 2019. Like when Black Panther emerged, the momentum that action figure had. Like you still got like my Caleb, he in the back seat. He's still buying the same old freaking toys. You feel me? Like, man, he Black Panther, you know what I'm saying? Like that was monumental. So imagine just seeing yourself in the video games. It's extra. Like we gotta challenge that. We gotta challenge that. But you're right though, them white people, boy, they vultures though. They the hell of vulture. But we African Americans have turned into that too though. We've inherited that from the people we say we don't want to be like.
Being just like that.
My bad,
Because
y'all.
look, when you look in these Facebook groups, like I ain't in none of those groups, but I remember a time where I would show up in a group because somebody added me to it, and I gotta remove myself out of it. But when you go in these groups, you see like the Wiccas and all of them, like these witches. It's the white women that are leading the black women along in that whole little pattern, and then you got a couple of black dudes who playing it raw because they into the spookiness like that too, because they know if they rocking like that, you know what I'm saying, them type of witch sisters or whatnot, they can be able to play on their emotions. There you go, you got some free ass. But you you know what I'm saying, like like you play that game right back with them. It's like that. So some people in it for that, like, yo, like it's crazy.
They call that a hotepper.
Yep.
Witch pimping.
Witch pimping, yo.
And I hate when they like disrespect the remech with the not to get off the bill, but with the meaning what it mean, and all we know all of
Brother,
the
brother, you know the is the phallus, the womb, and the children. That's what
Man, that's crazy. But Snot, man, my mama calling. Can y'all still hear me? But
yeah.
Snot asked a good question. He says, when Dr. Clark said all knowledge belongs to all people of the world, did he mean culture too? No. No. Because culture Culture and traditions is personal. It's your worldview. It's something that you adapt. You know what I'm saying? Like it's embedded in you. Like, hold on, let me give you a working definition. I'm gonna go to my source, right? I'm gonna go to the Power African Cultures. Since you asked that, Snot, it says the definition and meaning of culture is broad, right? You got values, beliefs, text about the beliefs and ideas, multiply daily practices, aesthetic forms, systems of communications, languages, institutions of societies, a variety of experiences that captures, in this instance, Africans' way of life. A metaphor to express political ideas and the basis of ideology to bring about both political and economic changes. Even nature does not escape inclusion in the definition of culture, disregarded as some analysis do, as being in opposition to culture. To many Africans, nature is understood in part as a religious agency. To talk about nature is to talk about culture. The complexity of past traditions is inscribed into the notion of contemporary modernity. Now it says let me skip this other part. It says uh, talks about the book and it says it reflects as well culture evolves, adapting itself to new circumstances and environments. New ideas come from the outside to replace older ideas or to be blended with existing ones. Culture and society can be fluid, reflecting an ongoing adaptation. Society and its culture can regress or progress. So when I think about culture and you saying if depending on the people, it goes back to my point of what I just said that it's people's personal worldview. It's the adaptation of that worldview, and I don't call it inclusive for everyone. Like African American culture is not African British or British African, however they want to say it up there. Culture, it's two different, right? I mean, both ran by Euros are dominated by Europeans, but yet there is a different entity there and there, and here. So nah, it's gonna be whatever that worldview is. It's similar to like when I keep saying this, but when we were talking to Sheffrin the other night, and he was talking about Baltimore, right? His worldview is different because he doesn't see how black businesses can fail when he's surrounded by thriving black businesses, black mayors, and all of these political institutions that are set up for black businesses to thrive versus someone in the South who does not have that same setup as him, or even comparing it to Atlanta, right? If you compare Nashville and Atlanta together, they're night and day. It's not the same. The city is not 80% African American. You know what I'm saying? Or it's not like Baltimore is. So that worldview and that cultural identity is different. Like we talk a different way than they do in Baltimore. They slur their words a certain way, they dress a certain way, you know what I mean? And they refer to certain things in their languages and things a different way. Now there may be some food similarities, but culturally that's a different environment. We have to adapt to that. Like when we go to Baltimore or if we go to the East, we go up the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? And when they come from the East Coast to down South, it's a cultural difference because we talk a different way, we dress a different way, we eat certain foods a different way. Uh, we riding box Chevys, with 22s, 24s on it. You know what I'm saying? You don't see them riding box Chevys with 24s or old schools on it with 24s on it. So all of that is different, if that makes sense. Y'all done got quiet.
Y'all ain't still ride old schools now though in the bed. Is it? I know we in chat we ain't riding old schools no more. But yeah, I get what you're saying though. Culture, culture and language, bro. That's how we distinguish each other. Cause ain't nobody looking at no genetics and haplogroups and all that to say this is what makes us different from each other. We're looking at our culture, how we act, how we dress, our worldview, uh, the perspectives that we coming from, the rituals that we do. You know what I'm saying? That the languages that we speak. That's what separates us. That's what distinguishes people from each other. So yeah, no, I would say knowledge is for everybody, but not culture.
And yeah, we still riding box Chevys, and all the other cars too.
Yeah, we don't put them old schools up.
Nah, man, we still got the Vogues, bro. Ain't nothing going down. We in the South. That's a staple.
Yeah, I don't see too many people riding the motherfuckers no more. But I ain't in the Ville though, so I don't know. Let's see what the chat talking about. Y'all own word. Coach said, I read the planets to see when I can have children. Let me see. Let's see. You have been in the culture to change the culture sometimes. You have to be in the culture to change the culture sometimes. Right? We should have our own coders and designers for our own experiences. Yep. Yep, we definitely do. That's why I was talking to Satep a while back about I was wondering why I ain't never seen no damn no black comics. Like if we love Kemet so much, then why nobody put it into comic book form? I would like to see that. Comic book form, cartoon form, something. You know what I'm saying? For these kids. Let's see. What difference does it matter how you eat your pangolins?
My bad. I was talking to my barber, man, and then I hit the news came on. The breaking news came on, man. A little young 19-year-old dude from Jackson came up here for a party, and they knocked him off on my side of town. Little young dude, man. They got him on camera and everything, holding the strap like with the extendo on there.
Yeah.
Then shot all up in the cop, man, and knocked dude off, yo.
Damn, he was coming to visit.
Man, he was up here for a party last minute. His sister, I guess his sister stayed here or whatever, but it was out south in them apartments that they just built across from the projects behind the center. You know what I'm saying? And I guess people was up there, they rented, like Airbnb. You feel me? There it was an Airbnb, like a little it's a 3-story apartment. And they Airbnb those areas for like Titans when Titans in town and all that. And really just to whoever. So I guess somebody Airbnb to do a party at the place, and they got into it, and then outside the apartment, whoever little buddy was, up the strap, bust at the car, end up hitting the dude. Yup, knocking him off, yo. He ain't even from here, yo. They want evidence. I don't know. They got evidence. They got the little dude on there shooting. Jacket wide open, got a description. He got a hey, I don't know. I guess they want a name. Had little dreads. Hey, I ain't gonna lie though. Could have been a chick though. You know what I'm saying? It was stature was just like that. I think it was a sports bra on. I ain't get too much. I was just looking. But I don't know, they gunning like Snoop, you know.
Oh man.
Sean, you crazy.
Hey man, I'm just saying. But nah, man, I think that when we talking about this culture stuff though, man, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm telling you, like we worse than the people we indict. We throw that charge on, yo. You know what I mean? We got sometimes we need to take a step back and instead of just learning all the easy stuff, let's just get acclimated into customary traditions and things of that nature and deal with it from that perspective so that we can really like learn. Like, you know what I mean? We want to be more, for some of us want to be more African than American or African with American with an African understanding. And that's cool too, however you trying to rock it. Or if you just saying the hell with all of it and just let me just keep African American culture, which you can't do that because you got to still run an Africa. Because a lot of the cultural nuances come from the continent. You know what I'm saying? So uh, it's kind of crazy. So what we do is we learn what we learn. We need to learn what we learn. Like when we remember like a couple years ago we had the argument like what's African American culture and all of that, and then we started talking about all of these things. But the Africanisms are still here and haven't been rooted out. Like the way you cook your food, the way that you actually create your own slang, your interpretation of certain words. It's rooted. You know what I mean? But we're also the example. So we need to set a better example among our people because on the continent, they're starting to look to us more because they're trying to free their minds. Like when we talk about our progression with our brothers and sisters at the Gambia, specifically the Ghan Gyro Skills Academy, and how they're introducing the information to uh to their students, right? Like reading literature review, breaking down our books, and then they're writing their essays and things of that nature. They're learning things about the continent that they didn't know before, and even themselves. And we get to witness that live, yo, because we can call over there and we get that experience with them live. And in all of that, what helps us is that we're breaking a curse while still trying to break our own curse. Like we get more love, in the Gambia than we do right here on our own, you know what I'm saying? On our own, where we at, our own turf. And that's kind of backwards, but it is what it is.
Shit
You
is
know what?
crazy.
Go ahead, Sutek.
Nah, go ahead, man. I'm just saying that shit is crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is, man. It's like, and that's why I say when I speak from my perspective, I'm always talking about music, is because how these West African rhythms bang. You hear some of this with some bass, with some couple 12s. You get in somebody whip that's break like, you know what I'm saying, Sean over there, big baller. You know what I'm saying? I know he banging. And it's like you put on some West African music, I bet you start bobbing your head. Like authentic drums. Like I'm talking about straight up, no, American influence, the raw cut. You know what I mean? Some of y'all drum and dance, some of y'all practice it. Somebody say something? Oh, thought somebody said something. But yeah, man, even going to a show, you can experience that. Like, can appreciate our culture. You know what I'm saying? Everybody love Black History assemblies when it comes time Black History Month.
Yeah, I agree with that. Thinking the same thing every February. I'll be like, these
Coach
niggas.
says because you're light skinned.
I'm just like, man, I'm just
Albino Africans, yeah, a lot of people don't talk about that. And that culture too. Think about the racism they experience.
Can y'all hear me?
Oh, go ahead.
yeah,
No. I think I gotta leave and come back. I was on the phone with my mom. So when you said did somebody say something? Nah, that was because I was calling my mom. Let me leave. Let me refresh.
Coach said y'all look more. I'll get more respect because y'all look like a white man. I'ma exclude myself out of
Hey,
that.
you definitely do though. Listen, man. Listen, if you put that motherfucker, if you put them slacks on with a button up and a tie, motherfucker gonna treat you better than they would if you come in there with some sweatpants and a hoodie on, man. That's crazy.
Hey, well, what I find funny in that is that the same person who. That's why your grandma used to tell you all the time. Well, my grandma, she used to tell my cousin all the time when he had to go to court, put on the shirt and tie, put your slacks on, and put up. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to go in there with no jeans sagging below your butt or whatever. They're gonna treat you like that. But you put the shirt and tie on, it tends to show a softer side and make people a little bit more lenient. And that's true. That's crazy. You look
Well,
more
I mean, if you
presentable,
going to court,
approachable.
if you going to court, I understand it. But if you just walking in a convenience store, you know, that's a
Yeah,
whole
no,
nother
no, I'm
story.
saying that too. I'm saying that too. That same analogy. So apply it not only just to a convenience store. Apply it to like if you go into a bar. They look
Anywhere,
at you
bro.
different. Yeah, they look at you different. They be like, student here, the student town. You a Muslim or something?
Right.
Yeah, you selling bean pies, money?
Oh, you know what the bee pies.
Hey, we ain't letting that go.
See
Yeah. I
that
heard
bee
you say
pie,
that.
the hook gonna pop up.
Yeah.
Right. Gonna pop up. You say bean pie 3 times.
Hmm. But I think that like people say I look more approachable when I got my glasses on, right? Like depending on what I got on, like yeah, you just look approachable because you got on glasses. I'm like what?
They try to say you look soft, Sean.
Man, I don't know what they saying, yo. I ain't going. Whatever you saying, get cussed out.
Yeah,
Nah, man, but it's all in the game. I just think that we got to do a better job um trying to understand the different variables of our own identity and our own culture and stop trying to understand everybody else's more than our own because at the drop of a dime, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like they trying to get rid of Black History Month in Utah, and now the Utah Jazz players, and I appreciate them stepping up. Like whoa, wait a minute, but I'm
damn.
Black.
Racist ass Utah. You know, that's where a lot of them who founded that over there, man? What was his name? Brigham Young. White man
Yeah,
named Brigham
Brigham
Young.
Young. Yeah, Brigham Young.
Yeah, man. And
I
they
think that's wrong.
yeah, they real
How the hell you gonna opt out of? How the hell you gonna opt out of something that you forced on people? That you forced us to create a history here because you brought us here against our will. So how you gonna try to get out of that? You want your kids to be that dumb? I don't care if 3% of the school is Black and the rest of the school is predominantly white. They need to be able to know what the hell going on. They listen to our music,
Right.
watching us play basketball. Your kids dressing different because they watch the way we swagging.
yeah, the Mormons. I couldn't think of it. The damn Mormons.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What they
Mormon
got
dollar.
Gwendolyn? I know she ain't on the most wanted list. Yo, I just think they put a 70-year-old woman on the most wanted list, yo.
Wow.
Damn, they just
On a
let her
billboard, I
retire.
just seen it, yo. No joke.
Yeah.
Let her retire, man. She a OG.
Right. She a retired criminal, yo. She ain't doing that. She too old to move around. It's cold. Man, what are y'all doing?
Come here looking up the bees.
You looking at them? What you
And we
looking at
can
them for?
we can go ahead and wrap this one up, man. I'm gonna do something on economics here in a little bit, man. We're gonna talk about this paper, y'all. Cause done
Yeah,
with
man.
astrology.
I want you to I want you to go into what's going on with GameStop and shit too. I know you trying to build on something else around economics, but I want
Yeah, yeah. I don't really want a particular deal with that because that's a lot of speculation, and I don't really deal with speculating. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I can tell y'all about what happened, but I don't
yeah,
deal with it.
yeah. Tell me, because I want you to clear that up for me. I know it's a lot of speculation. That's why I wanted you to clear that shit up because I ain't really looked into it yet.
Man, look, man, I just want a PlayStation 5, two of them. That's it. I need two, really three PlayStation 5s, and I need my damn state, county, and local I need my state tax and county tax to go down. That's all I
Well,
need.
you know what you need to do, Sean? You need to get that damn mayor out of there. Cause see, that's the reason
I think
why your
so, yo.
taxes.
Yeah,
No, that's exactly why. I'm about to send you the link.
yeah.
I looked it up myself.
I
Your
did
tax,
too.
your tax is
That-
40. Your tax is 47. I think it went 47%.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we gotta get rid of him, yo.
yeah, he hiked it, but it's gonna go away in June.
This
Go away
June.
in June.
But yeah, they hit me with the okie doke right now though. So it's like I gotta swallow it for a year.
Let's go ahead and end this one. Then we can chop it up.
All right, all
All right,
right.
all right. Peace, y'all. Peace.